This is Boxing Capital. Business, boxing, and everything behind all the punches. Sammy and I have been debating about whether black fans support black fighters. Sammy is convinced that that is not the case, and I actually put his theory to the test today with this video. Can you name me 5 black professional boxers that are currently fighting today?
Honor Davis.
There we go.
Hey, then you got
Wilder. I'm gonna say I ain't got it.
No? Okay.
If we go historically, I could.
Okay.
then you got my third boy Tucky from Brooklyn.
Oh, the guy from London. I'm forgetting the names of the English dude.
AJ, that's who you're talking about.
AJ,
Anthony
yeah.
Joshua. And he fought Jermaine Franklin, who's also black.
Oh, okay.
KSI, he's a YouTube boxer, but he counts.
Mayweather still count?
Last but not least, he's a fucking rapper. He's not a YouTuber, and he is a boxer. DDG.
Okay, Sammy.
Well,
Your theory was kind of
proven to be the truth.
I asked, well, you saw the best 3 answers, which is the
Yeah.
sad part. I asked some people, of course, they didn't want to be on it. Some people were just like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
have no clue. Best 3 answers. You're kind of right. I'm going to keep asking people, though. I'm going to keep asking people to prove you wrong. But
no, keep it up and try to prove me wrong. And you will see every time you try it, you will run into the same problem.
Right.
Even if you go around the boxing gyms, go around the best way I would tell you, go around boxing gyms and ask the fighter themselves, besides their friends, that they gave tickets to for free to go see them fight. Which of their friends buy tickets to go see them fight? None. They are so-called celebrity, big shot black celebrities that go to these fights. What are the fights they go to? Tang.
Earl Spence. People show up for Earl Spence.
Tang, Earl Spence.
AB.
Maybe
Broner.
they are Chattels. Oh, come on, Broner
is a show. He's entertainment. He's
Broner
a jokester,
Broner is one of the guys who actually just go in there to make fun of the game. He's not really serious about the game. He goes in there and show his behind to the people. I mean, look. The man is a very good fighter that never took advantage of his talent.
Yeah.
Because he tried to be somebody else.
Floyd.
He tried to be Floyd.
Right. Everybody's trying to be Floyd
you know
in a
what?
way.
No, I don't think everybody trying to be Floyd. Everyone trying to emulate Floyd, but Broner wanted to be Floyd.
Difference, I see it. Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Broner wanted to be Floyd. He tried to dress like Floyd, talk like Floyd, behave like Floyd.
Without the money.
Without the money.
Yeah. What does he say? AB about billions. That's
Yeah,
what his thing is.
Yeah. So, other people trying to emulate Floyd, trying to look at the style. Yes. Even me as a fighter, I did the same thing. But I watched Ray Leonard. I watched Muhammad Ali, and I watched Mike McCullum. I watched James Stoney. I watched Marvin Hagler, and I tried to steal a little bit of all of these men style and put it into mine and use what I was able to figure out that'll fit me.
You're learning, but making it your own. Like how it fits into your game.
Yes,
Yeah.
and made it my own.
Yeah.
I was not trying to be any one of those guys because I'm not them.
Right.
And I love being me. I don't want to be nobody else. But Broner typically wanted to wear Floyd Mayweather's skin and be Floyd. That's where he screwed up. When he wanted to be Floyd that bad, his mentality and his talent went through the window.
Yeah.
He started misbehaving, thinking that what Floyd was. Yeah, you know,
Yeah, Floyd. People
Floyd
don't
was-
know. Floyd was one of the most disciplined fighters.
he is.
Yeah, he would go like party and then run home. Never
Yeah,
drink,
yes.
never do any of that stuff. He'd be out and about, but
Yes.
he'd literally like run 5 miles home.
No,
At like 2 in the morning.
When people were
Yeah.
sleeping,
Yeah.
Floyd was running.
Exactly.
When they were sitting somewhere digging their nose, he was in the gym,
Yeah.
at his house or at his gym,
Right.
punching the bags.
Right.
Floyd was kind of like for the modern days boxer.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Floyd was like Michael Jordan to
Mm-hmm.
basketball.
Right.
When people were sleeping, Jordan was practicing free throw.
Right.
When people were sleeping, Floyd was out running.
Mm-hmm.
So Floyd has a lot of talent.
Yeah,
but
he does.
But he didn't rely on that. He worked hard
Right.
to make that talent come out.
But I think there is a certain level in which, like, unless you become a Floyd, like, what does it take to become a Floyd as a black boxer, right? Because that's the level in which you're trying to transcend the sport to where you're just ubiquitous with all athletes, right?
Okay, what-
Same conversation. You could talk about LeBron James, talk about
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather. People
Yeah.
know who they are, right? LeBron James is playing a very popular sport in
Yeah.
America. You compare it to, Patrick Mahomes or Tom
Yeah.
Brady, or I'm just naming like
Yeah.
NFL. I don't really watch football, but
Yeah.
quarterbacks, like Floyd is still within those conversations. So
Of
he's
course.
beyond boxing. And there was this golden age of boxing, right? You have Sugar Ray,
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali, Hagler, Hearns, Tyson.
Yeah.
Why, like, there's this gap, right? Between like the 90s and then there's Floyd and then there's like maybe Tank.
Yeah.
So what happened in that space to where black fighters aren't in that ubiquitous athletic conversation?
Okay. I will equate that to this. In the late 80s, the 90s, let's say from like the 70s, all right, into the 80s, the 90s, then the early 2000s and Floyd, okay, that was not Floyd was like 97. That
But
was
his superstardom was like
no his,
2000s, 10s.
yeah,
Right?
okay,
Yeah.
but 97,
Yeah.
well, when he made his pro debut, okay, after he made his pro debut on a card, that I was one of the main event. I was me and Johnny Tapia were the main
wow.
event on
Yeah.
that card.
Yeah.
Floyd made his pro debut and a bunch of other Olympians made their pro debut on that card. All right. Between that time and the Redlander, the Hagler, the Hagler and the Mike McCollum and stuff like that.
Roy Jones.
Roy Jones came from the 88 Olympics where that I was in. So all of these during that time, the how you call it the black movement was still strong. People were still the NAACP and stuff, which is still strong now. But the athletes were still strong within those when people were talking about prohibition and all this stuff. All of those things helped push the black athlete because we as a people could relate. And that was something that kind of brought us closer. Boxing especially. Most of the barber shops will talk about boxing.
Right. Yeah. Not that I've
They
been
will
in a
not.
barbershop.
Yeah, most of the barbershop will talk about boxing.
Right.
They will not be talking about, they'll talk about boxing. They'll talk about baseball and stuff like that. There were basketball. You would talk about Jordan.
Right.
Dr. J back in the days when Dr. J from the 76ers before Jordan.
Right.
And those conversations happens in the black community a lot. Okay? Because most of the athletes went home. They went into those communities. They came from there, but they were able to visit those communities. Now, I don't think it is that so much.
Do you think boxers are trying to brand themselves a little too much or hype themselves up to be this kind of like untouchable sort of,
Yes.
social media?
Yeah, I mean all of those things are good.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to see where talk about where people the boxers. Now I'm not talking about other sports that are kind of like bring it up just to make comparison.
Right.
But I want for them to get the audience, to get the community behind their fighters
Right.
after they have left the amateurs into the pros, to have the same support they had from the black community, a black fighter, into the professionals.
Right.
Yeah, in the neighborhood when you're having these little club shows, people go to those shows. Black people go to those shows, and not even as much as they are used to anymore. Because I have gone to a lot of the shows around here. Some of these shows when they come up, I will have you go just to see black fighters in these shows. They are fighting, and see how many black people you see there from that neighborhood, besides the one from the gym, and see how many Mexicans you will find in there from the neighborhood from that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Five. There are numbers as 5. You will find more Mexicans or Hispanic from the neighborhood supporting their athlete from that neighborhood than you will find.
Yeah.
You will find us.
Yeah. I definitely, I want to.
So I'll say it is not much of a conversation anymore like it used to be in the neighborhood to have us sit around and talk about boxing like they used to do back in the neighborhood. People playing Scrabble, they playing
Nice.
dominoes, and they're talking about boxing, or they are playing cards, talking about boxing. It is not that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Support black fighters.
No, seriously, we need to do that. We
Yeah.
need to do that.
Yeah. We'll talk more about
I mean,
this.
come on, man.
We'll get more into it. I think also another aspect of this is just as boxing as a whole, it's kind of going up and down.
Yeah.
I think we'll save this conversation for another day with like the rise of influencer boxing and maybe how that's a way in which that's bringing eyes back to the sport. But I think a huge issue that boxing has faced, and one of the people that I talked to today alluded to it, is MMA, UFC. And I think the issue of that entity as a brand in and of itself taking eyes away from the sport of boxing,
Okay.
especially when.
And then why would you say that's happening?
Why do I say it's happening? I I would say consistency. I think it's
UFC consistent.
Yeah, it's one thing. It's MMA. It's one brand, right?
Yeah.
It's not, Top Rank over here and, Golden Boy over here and PBC over here. Fights are made. People fight the best because UFC is the highest level you can get to.
Okay.
Contractual, people aren't hiding behind contracts. You aren't, talks of this fight happening and then this falling through. There's less politics for better or for worse, however you feel about Dana White. But
yeah, I mean, he runs it the way he want to run it because he's the only man playing in the game.
Exactly.
Okay, and now he are getting into boxing too.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is this. I understand what you're saying, but I believe the reason why MMA is MMA, it is because, like you said before, you don't have all these different managers. Fine. But we as fighters, I'm a former fighter now, but fighters need to start realizing that they are losing more money than they are gaining by a handful of guys being multi-millionaires, and the little guys at the bottom get nowhere, even as they can be as good or even better than the multi-millionaire fighters that are up there, but never get seen because the promoters have colluded to have this hands-on or control, and they behave like they don't like each other, but it's a game. I believe it is a game.
It's politics.
They're doing it to make sure that you fighter can remain stupid and keep doing the same old thing they've been doing from 19. No,
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
Back when you had just a few promoters, like the Don King, Aram, and maybe somebody else, fighters fought each other. Redlander fought Hagler. Hagler fought Hearns.
Yeah.
Hearns fought Redlander.
Yeah.
I mean,
The best are fighting the best.
the best fought the best. Nobody ducked anybody.
Right. Also, too, I think.
Boxing was on top of the world.
Yeah.
Now, excuse me for saying it, but you got people who are chicken shit champions that don't want to fight nobody.
That's exactly what I was going to say. First of all, there's too many belts.
Yeah, too many belts.
Too many belts.
Everybody and their grandmother own a belt.
Too many belts. Because that's what stops people from fighting. If you wanted to prove you were the best, you had to fight for that
You
one
had
belt.
to fight, yeah. You had the WBC, you had the USBA or the USBA, and you then it came up. It became how you call it? You had WBC, WBA, and IBF. Okay, the USBA became IBF, International Boxing Association.
Right.
Okay, so all of these 3 belts, that's all you had. But you had maybe 4 promoters or 3.
Right.
And those fighters fought for those belts. The thing here is that all these numbers of crazy belts that don't make no sense, all they do collect their sanctioning fees from the fighters or from the promoter, which the fighter pay part of.
Right.
They collect this, and everybody and their grandmother got a belt. You got.
It's like intercontinental. I don't interim. I don't fucking know what that is.
NBO, this OBO, and everybody got a belt.
Yeah.
cut out the bells. The bells don't really make the fighter.
No.
Cut out the bell.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do something with the bell, and these bells, you can't sell these bells for a handful of change.
No.
No. If you win a trophy and this thing is made out of gold, I can sell that sucker later on when I'm broke.
Right.
If I need money. Who you gonna go sell a bell to? For who? I don't want a bell hanging around in my house.
Right.
Except it's something I won.
What is the point of them? Is it just like
It
a
is
branding
just-
thing
yeah.
now? Is it just like, oh, to say, oh, I have this belt? Or, like, what's
yes,
the point?
Yes, I have a belt. Cut out the foolishness. Let these fighters stop being golden gooses for the promoters.
Right.
Fight, guys, fight. Fighters, get out there and really make your point. If you want to fight John Brown, fight John Brown. Crawford want to fight Spence and Crawford should fight.
Right.
Don't go start fighting Moses from your neighborhood that probably been talking to your sister for a week. Now you want to go fight him because you know you can beat him. If you think you the shit, step up to the plate and fight.
And that's what the fans want to see.
That's why MMA, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And boxing is going to the dog, and you have all the promoters fighting for the low crumbs, trying to make sure that they keep their crumbs in their pocket.
That's a good segue into our main point. Our main story today, AJ. AJ is back.
AJ
is back.
Yeah.
No, it's a good segue because he fought Jermaine Franklin,
Yep.
an American heavyweight, who, like a year ago, was working in a factory and going and training at night to, be a professional fighter. Now, obviously, he's doing it full time. He just fought, he's fighting big time in the UK. He fought Dillian White
He did last time before.
And then
He fought Dillian White to what? To a loss?
Yeah, it was a loss, but it was
It was a
main
loss.
event.
Okay.
It sold out crowd.
And he made
in
money.
UK. Exactly, a lot of money.
He made
a lot.
a lot of money.
And then now versus your favorite fighter.
Oh no, he's not my favorite. He's not my favorite.
I know he's not your favorite. You feel very passionately about Anthony Joshua. Let's hear it.
Yeah, okay, look. Anthony Joshua, great physique, looked the part, has some talent. I would say had because when he was in the Olympics, I was in London at the same time, now 2012, for the Olympics. I saw the man fight. I saw him fight as a young guy at the time. He did great in the Olympics. He came back as a pro, was doing pretty good. But Joshua got the right fighters to fight to make his way out. Did pretty good. He was among the names of heavyweights.
He fought good heavyweights.
Yeah, he fought good heavyweights.
He had a lot of good fights.
He was in the. He was up there with all the other big name heavyweight. Joshua was one of the big guys back then. Okay.
It was like 5 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, by what?
It was recently.
Yeah, recently.
For
4 years ago.
Yeah. He was a man.
Yes. But then, where I think they made a mistake with him, when they started building him up to look like a model, like King Kong, lifting all the unnecessary bull crap weight and putting on all this weight. Then he fought Ruiz. Ruiz is not a joke.
He has hands.
He's not a joke.
He's good, yeah.
But that fight broke Joshua for me. When that fight happened, when they said he was fighting Ruiz after the guy he was supposed to be fighting fell out. Mm-hmm. I was like, this the biggest mistake they have made. Because Ruiz can fight.
Yeah, he's good.
Ruiz, if he wants to fight, he's in shape, he can fight. Mm-hmm. And when Ruiz got in that ring and looked the way he did, fat Ruiz that is fat, mm-hmm. be afraid of him. No. The fat Ruiz can fight. When Ruiz looked like he all cut up, no. Then he got a problem. Mm. And that fight actually broke under AJ. And from that fight, all his other fights, he had been like kind of a little skittish.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's really weird.
Because he's afraid.
Yeah.
He afraid of anyone he fights now. He's going to be afraid, and as soon as that person try to fight back, he will give up.
Yeah.
And he stopped being. A fight last night. I'm talking about that. I mean, he was rude. He was unprofessional.
After the fight.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. He hit him in the back of the head, and then all of a sudden he's like wrestling him, and then weird shit on the mic.
Even the last time when he fought Usyk, and he lost.
Yeah, he goes on this rant.
Yeah, because
off. Yeah,
either something off or AJ is trying to find. He's telling what the promoter name
Eddie Hearn.
He's telling Eddie Hearn, I don't want to fight no more.
Yeah, and weird. Yeah,
I don't think he want to fight anymore.
But he says all the right things, like not after the fights, but during the press conferences and when he's doing his
because
celebrity stuff. But in the ring, it's really even spiritually he seems just done.
Every time he fighting a guy he's supposed to beat.
Knock out. And that's
and every time the guy went to fight him, that guy himself let himself down too.
Right, yeah.
If he had pressed AJ just a little bit more, he would have knocked him out too.
Right.
He would have stopped him.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
But I think he went in there for the paycheck. Mm-hmm. That was it.
Yeah.
And he played the part. Got a loss, made some money, and came back home.
Because it was set up as this, like, if you go on the Zone, it's like, what do they call it? They were calling it a New Dawn. Yeah, the New Dawn. This big, he's coming back with a vengeance, this big, return, and he's going to knock him out. And he was saying, if I lose this, I'm going to retire and stuff like that.
Was it a vengeance of a slug?
Terrible.
Was it the vengeance of a slug? That's what he looked like. He looked like a slug in that ring.
It was just he's very, I don't know, something's off with him. And I feel bad for him, honestly. Watching that fight, I was like, I feel bad for him. Something's off. Yeah.
He's done.
There's no way he can fight Fury, Wilder. People are trying to set up Wilder.
Knock him out in 2 rounds.
Yeah, done. No.
He
Wilder
fight
can
Fury.
knock anybody off. Out, yeah.
He fight Fury. Fury might do the same thing, knock him out in 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua is done. Mm-hmm. He's done. He should fight the mediocre fighters from now on.
Yeah.
That's all. They should always give him. I think Eddie Hearn put him in this fight. Gave him a mediocre fighter. Probably made a Saudi pay for that fight. Yeah, Saudi pay for that card, and then turn around and embarrass himself.
Yeah.
By not giving people the kind of fight. Those kind of fight are the fights. Those kind of fight makes boxing look like shit.
That production was terrible. Like. The Zone should be ashamed of themselves. The way that it was just operated from the beginning to the end, and just really weird shit in between, and just even the people like commentating, and then like the people standing around and talk. It was just bad.
Yep.
Showtime I think is the best, but I went to that fight again. There's like on the main card, it was pretty methodical. I think MMA does a really good job of this. Of like, they don't let you breathe. They fight after fight. The fight ends. 5 minutes later, the fight starts.
Yeah.
But this one is just like really weird. Like I was damn near watching soccer documentaries between each fight. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then there's like weird face-offs in between, like fights people I don't really give a fuck about.
Because
Wood versus Estrada or whatever.
Because
like
they don't. Their production part of their production thing is just
yeah,
off.
I felt the whole time they're trying to sell us a subscription, like, oh, your pay-per-view is included if you have a subscription, but only in the UK and Ireland. Like, it's
pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view. I thought they were not doing pay-per-view.
They weren't supposed to do pay-per-view.
That was their big thing.
And I think it started at $10 a month, and now it's 20, and then they're about to go to 25, and now it's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And by the end of this year, it's gonna be 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just pay $50, then you don't have to pay for pay-per-view.
Except for this fight.
Except for this fight.
If you're in America. It was not a good. It was not a good
AJ
fight.
is done.
Yeah.
He's done. He don't want to fight no more.
Yeah, I don't know what's next for him. I really see him fighting in Saudi Arabia most of the times now. He's had a few
because
fights
the Saudis
there.
are paying all that money.
Exactly. Because I don't like.
The Saudis are paying all that money.
Are UK people gonna keep coming out for that?
Eddie Hearns is milking their Saudi as much as he can.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's just milking them. They're big cash cow, so he's gonna milk them for as much as he can.
Right.
He did. Now all Eddie Hearns doing, milking them and giving AJ a bunch of bums. Some of these suckers don't know how to spell fight if he put it in their face.
Yeah, I don't. If he was wise, I mean,
He is not going to fight Usyk. He's not going to fight.
No, he can't fight Usyk.
He's not fighting Usyk again.
Yeah, he's lost twice.
He's not going to fight Wilder. He's not going to fight Tyson Fury. He's done.
No, I think they're now, who's the next Dillian White? They were trying to dish that out, put that in the conversation.
But Dylan White, come on now. How many times he should beat the Dylan White?
He already beat them. Him.
Yeah, he beat Dylan White.
Yeah, knocked him out.
Yes.
Yeah. He fought him twice?
Yeah, okay, one time.
I don't know.
I can remember.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
no, he fought him.
He fighting Dylan White again for what?
I mean,
what they were selling to the people. Well, I mean,
UK, it's easy to promote.
UK going to support that.
Yeah,
the UK.
it's easy to promote.
The British, they're going to support each other.
Yeah.
They will support it. Eddie Hearns will go get Saudi money.
Yeah.
And pay them. Yeah. He will get Saudi money and pay them.
Yeah. And I was hoping for a better performance, being that he has Derek James in his corner now. Derek James is Spence and Charlo so
they are trainer.
You would know because you're a fighter.
Yeah.
What effect does changing trainers have on you as a fighter? Because after his Ruiz loss, I think he left.
And he went to Garcia.
Was it Kraken or something? I don't remember. Whatever.
Yeah.
The guy that he was brought up with, and then he went to Garcia, and then lost to Usyk, and then now he's with Derek James. Is it fair to say, okay, give Derek James a little bit more time, and he'll get Anthony Joshua back to where he was, or are the trainers just like no effect on AJ or fighter in general, and it is what it is?
I would say this much: AJ is where he is now. Mm-hmm. They could bring Jesus Christ to train him, and he ain't gonna get any better. It's not the man talent that's the problem.
It's up here.
It's not his talent. His heart is gone. Mm. Ruiz messed him up.
Yeah.
Ruiz took his heart.
But even he fought Ruiz again and beat him. So as a fighter, is that
I don't call that a fight.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That crap with Ruiz in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
That fight should have been a draw.
Yeah, it was bad. But just mentally,
Ruiz tried Ruiz tried to fight, and Joshua ran away. Joshua ran the whole fight.
Right. But this is my point. As a fighter, you lose to somebody and you beat them, does that not give you a sense of like relief, or you know what, that was a like you don't get it back.
Listen, you said if I lost to you and you come back and beat me, that should give you back some confidence.
Yeah.
Yes, but what is the key word in that sentence?
Confidence.
No. Beat. If you come back and beat me.
He knocked Ruiz down the second fight.
He did not beat Ruiz. Yeah, he knocked him down. Or out of shape Ruiz. He knocked him down. Then ran for the rest of the fight.
So you think Anthony Joshua in his mind knew
this
wasn't a win?
In his mind, if he had stood up with Ruiz, he was going to get knocked out again. He ran. That's why he ran the rest of the fight. He ran to be able to pull out that quasi win that he got. It was quasi. It was the quasi win.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was a terrible fight.
He ran. Even after he knocked the man down, he still got on his bike. Mm-hmm. He didn't stop running.
Also, the thing about Joshua is he has moments where it's like, okay, just keep doing that for like 5 more seconds.
Yeah. Even when he fought Hussein for the second time.
I remember that. Round 9, I thought he was going to get Hussein out for a split second.
Because the man, I think, in a way, I'm not a psychiatrist or nothing like that, but I think in a way, success had made him a little timid.
Scared to lose it all.
Yes.
Yeah. He's scared to lose.
Success had made him a little timid. So he wants to win by any means. But he's afraid to take the risk to win. Mm-hmm. So he is not going to fight. His heart is gone.
Is there a way for him to get it back?
No. No. Because he has not proven that he's capable of that. From the laws after Ruiz, he started running. And he's been running ever since. Even when he has his movement that you see that should give him some confidence to actually press the issue. Mm-hmm. He don't. Mm-hmm. He found a way to lose.
Right. It's like he's scared to throw like an extra 2 punches. I'm like, dude, if you just come on, just keep going.
I mean, when he was fighting Hussein, he went to when he started going to Hussein's body. He had him.
It was round 9 or 10 where I was like, holy shit, he's gonna.
He had him, but he refused to take the risk to keep doing the same thing. Look, why would I go and start jumping rope when I can just get on a skateboard and take the ride? I'm not going to jump. I'm just going to get on the skateboard and go. Mm-hmm. So he's finding the easy way out. Mm. He's finding the easy way out. He don't want to fight no more. People are making him to fight, I believe. Mm-hmm. They're making him to fight. And they're putting all this money in front of him. And he can't say no to it. But he's not man enough to say, look, I had enough. I don't want to do this no more. Mm-hmm. Anthony Joshua is gone. He's done. In my book, he's done. He's never going to get that heart back. This fella,
Derek James
that trained him for this fight, can train him for the next 20 years. He ain't going to get any better than he is right now. He's not getting any better. He's done.
That breaks my heart.
The man,
I don't know. I'm not ready to go and say that he's done, but he looked. I want to see him fight one more time, and depending on how he looks in that fight, I'll give you an honest assessment.
You're gonna see him fight You're gonna see him fight one more time, and you're gonna feel a lot. And
I think I have a little bit of self-interest in it because I really do want him to fight Deontay Wilder, and I want my boy Deontay Wilder to knock him out.
No, well,
I want him to fight Deontay Wilder, and I want Deontay
Wilder.
You don't think so?
No.
I agree. I think Eddie Hearn after that fight.
Eddie Hearn is not going. No.
He'll talk it, but he knows he's not going to
talk it.
Yeah.
But the Saudi ain't gonna pay for that crap.
You don't think so? I don't think
No.
the Saudis are invested in whether or not Anthony Joshua wins. It's the money that's there.
Yeah.
And the money will
But
be
you
there
know
for
what?
Wilder. But
No.
But if he loses,
if they put money behind the fight, you know they're looking to make money back. They're
of
not
course,
just throwing
yeah,
that
but I'm
money away.
saying not from the Saudis' perspective, but from Eddie Hearn's perspective. If Anthony Joshua fights Deontay Wilder and Deontay Wilder wins with a knockout, which 90%
Deontay Wilder-
chance it will happen that way.
That fight don't go
It's-
3 rounds.
No, yeah, I agree.
If
I
he
think
fight Deontay Wilder, that fight don't go 3 rounds. I don't care who train him. let me just put it this way. If Anthony Joshua fight the next time and he fight a real fighter, not one of these tomato cans that they go and find for him. Don't fight no tomato cans. Fight a real fighter that will challenge him and he look better than he did his last fight. I'll buy you dinner.
Well, I hope I get some free food.
Yeah, seriously. I'll buy you dinner.
It's gonna be Nobu too.
Yeah, you know, we'll buy you vegan, or whatsoever can you want. We're gonna buy.
That's funny. All right, lastly, as you see, Sammy is a very opinionated guy, so we're gonna get into a segment we call Sammy Says. So we're gonna ask Sammy, what do you have to say about managers, the role of a manager in a boxer's life? So let's back up for people who don't necessarily know what it is that a manager is supposed to do for a fighter.
Yeah.
I'm an up-and-coming fighter. Let's say I'm not. I'm just saying if I
Yeah.
was, I'm amateur, just turning pro. My pro debuts in a couple months.
Yeah.
Why would I
Need a manager?
Why would I need a manager? And what would they do to facilitate the start of my career?
Okay. Being a newer fighter in the professional world, you need a manager, but you also do a research on those that are coming up to be managers. If you are a good talent that is coming up, and people are trying to say, "Oh yeah, I can manage you," everybody coming up and throwing you all of these different ways that they're going to make you a big shot.
Right.
You should learn about them. Who have they managed before? Who had they gotten to the top? Who had the help to get someplace? And also find out how much they're going to be making from you. Because in most of the managerial contracts that I had seen and were able to sign some, because I didn't know any better, they get 33 and the third percent
Sheesh.
of what you make. They don't run, not one day they run
Or spar.
or spar
Or hit the bag.
or do nothing like that. They will come around the gym. Oh yeah, man, how you doing? You doing good, Lord? And they stand around and become cheerleaders. Clap their hand and say, yeah, you're doing good, and do all of this. Look, they do a job. They go and talk to promoters and get you on the promoter card. If they know the promoter or tries to have the person come and see you and oh yeah, that's a good talent, they'll put him on the card. If you ask me for my honest opinion, managers should get about 10%.
So if they're getting 33 in the third, making $100, they're getting $33. You still got to pay your trainer.
Yeah, you still got to pay the trainer.
10%,
Yeah.
$10.
Yeah.
So that's already
So
$43.
that's $43
That's already $43.
that you have gotten out of your $100.
Your earnings, yeah. And then
And you train all the time.
you probably got gym dues. You probably got you got to pay your own rent.
Yeah.
You
No, they're supposed to. If the person is your manager and getting 33 and the third percent, supposed to pay your rent, give you a ride, make sure you can get to the gym. Those are the responsibility of the managers. Some of them would do those things maybe till you start making $10,000 a fight. Once you start to make $10,000 a fight, they stop. Now you got to pay your own way. You pay all the you pay your way to the gym, you pay your rent, you do all of this stuff, and they still get 33 and the third percent.
Are they supposed to be, as a manager, you're supposed to be, getting deals outside of boxing, sponsorships, endorsements? Is that their role as well?
I think that should be part of the contract for them to be able to make you money by then. Those things are stipulation, I would say, should be put in the contracts.
So what would your advice be to a new fighter who is exploring, exploring manager options?
Look, to a new fighter, I would say this: a new fighter that has some talent that is going places. Do a good research. Get yourself a manager that will be able to work with you. Sit down. Have your parents, if you're not smart enough, have someone. Get yourself a lawyer. Draw up a contract between, get yourself a lawyer, she's one. Draw yourself a contract that will state that, okay, when I start to make 10,000, when you start to get me fights, that I can make $10,000 or more, we have to go back to this contract and stipulate what can you get.
Right.
Because when I start to take care of myself, pay my own rent, drive my own car, get myself to the gym, buy my own food, you shouldn't get more than 10%.
Right.
Period.
Right. So what I'm hearing, if you're an upcoming fighter, don't sign a long-term contract. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that.
Don't ever do that.
Short.
2 years the most.
Yeah. 1 to 2 years. Make sure that you have the terms laid out of what it is that the manager should be doing.
Yep.
And
then after that, what the manager is supposed to do for you. Get you a place to stay, a conducive place, not just in an old hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Because you are a commodity.
Right.
You should be taken care as one.
Right.
Taken care of as one.
Right.
You should be, they should make sure when something happens, you can go to the hospital. You should have some kind of a health plan or something like that. If you can do all of these things, you're entitled to the third percent.
Right.
But
And I was going to
just-
say that leads to limit the amount of money
Yeah.
that they get, the cut of your earnings.
Yeah, because they're not just signing you to be a manager because they know you're a bum. No, they're not.
Right.
But they come to you and say, look, I think I can manage you. No, you got something to sell. And sell it right. Do not go and tell, just agree because some John Brown came to you and said, I will be a manager. And start smiling. Kid, don't worry, I'll take good care of you. I'll take care of you like when the day they start telling you, I want to take care of you like my son, they get ready to fuck you. No, seriously. I would take care of you like my son. No one taking care of you like their son. They're making sure they make every dollar out of you in a way that you will not feel how much they're getting out of you. And at the end of the day, they'll still be laughing going to the bank. You'll be strung out somewhere with no money, broke, and wondering what did I do? And to managers, if you're going to manage these young fighters, don't just be their friend or, their manager. Teach them how to control their money. Teach them how to be somebody after boxing. Don't just allow them to throw their money away. Look, if you have to tell the guy, say, look, when I manage you, every time you fight, we're going to put 10% of your money into an account that you can't touch till you retire. Do that for him. Because not every one of us as athletes has a mind like that. Not everyone of us thinking that way. The first thing we want to make the first dollar and go take the girlfriend out and dance and party and do all of this crazy crap. And then when we are retired, we got nothing, because sooner or later boxing have this much room, that much space open. That's it. And after it closed, you better have something to depend on. Because if you don't, that's it. I'm looking at this mic and saying it because that's what happened to a lot of kids.
Yeah.
That come from poor family, that are foreign fighters, and stuff like that. Boxing uses you like a racehorse. When they're done with you, you can't run no more. They put a bullet in you. That means they just let you go. You got all kind of illness from getting punched in the head and all of this crap.
Right.
And you got nothing to show for it. They never take. So boxing managers need to change the way they manage. If you're going to be a manager, change the way you do things.
Right.
And newer fighters sign no more than 2 years of contract with anybody. You want to be my manager, 2 years. If you serious to be my manager, 2 years. That's it.
Right. Listen to this man. Wise.
I mean, because
Former pro, Olympian.
I've been through it.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Thank you. This has been Boxing Capital.
And I'm Sammy Stewart,
I'm Tay.
the African that just talk a lot.
See you next time.